Welcome to Egg Food What? The first and only podcast about people eating stuff. I'm Mike Lisk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another episode of Egfo. What? Young Michael, how have you been this week? Anything to report?
Nothing to report specifically. It's getting hot.
That's the show, people.
The weather is still pretty freaky where you have a hot day like today, and then I hear it's getting cold and rainy again. I'm like, what's going on? Can we just get into a little more spring-like type weather?
You want spring? There's
Yeah, I
no
love
such thing as spring.
Well, yeah, it seems to have been disappearing lately. It seems
Don't
like
worry. Everybody's going to have 100 straight 95-degree days any minute now.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what people get so upset because 3 days out of the fucking year, it's below 70 degrees.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw my response from Dave Davies, where I asked him
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. From now on, you need to say from my new best friend forever, Dave Davies, since you two are BFFs now. I mean,
well, yeah, yeah, he weighed in on Squeeze.
Yeah,
After only 2 promptings. I prompted him twice. I got it on the
second. That's the right number. 3 is too much.
Yeah, 3 would have been pushing it.
Yeah,
but he responded, and he agreed with me. He believes that Squeeze was a very good band, very unique for their time, which is a high compliment.
Well, I could already, before him, I could already sense you a spike in the football because like 2 or 3 commenters agreed with you. I love how your
My
stamp
people.
of like I win as if any other person in the world agrees with you and not me. You act shocked like I'm not just like, what? I guess I was wrong. It's like it's inconceivable for you that I can have listened to heard a band, not like the band.
Mhm.
It just you can't seem to wrap your head around it. While being okay with the fact that yes, they're a popular band. Lots of people like them. I don't.
Yeah.
You seem to think I'm wrong because they're popular. You know who would hate that? Steve Albini.
Steve Albini. Okay.
He would have no respect. He would have no respect for this Squeeze bullshit. Hey,
too well produced, right? Not raw.
Let's be honest. Not that I'm a Steve Albini music fan. I'm pretty sure he'd be shitting all over Squeeze if you brought them up.
Yeah, too well produced. Did he ever weigh in on the Beatles? I suspect they may have been too well produced, not raw. Right? He likes that raw sound.
Yeah, a little too raw.
I mean, I had a little. Everybody's retweeting. Rest in peace to Steve Albini. I mean, he's legendary in the music field, right? Produced some great music. I've got some CDs here. I mean, this was much discussed in our circle. He originally produced Nirvana's In Utero.
What circle is this? You and me?
And Will was a great proponent of the Steve Albini mix of In Utero, which I think I heard, and I think I was such a fan of the original production that I didn't really hear that it was superior. I guess maybe if you heard that first and then heard the second version, it sounded too well produced. People like to shit on Nevermind that it's too well produced. I don't get this it's too well produced negative, All right, we're on the same page here.
Yes. Number one, whoever says anything is too good. But the biggest thing is, immediately Nirvana, Kurt Cobain goes around acting like he was assaulted by the production of. I think said this about some other band a couple months ago, whatever. Fuck you. That record doesn't get released if Kurt Cobain doesn't say he's happy with it. He wasn't jumped on and mugged and held down while these talented engineers and producers, stole his music and put it out with it. Fuck that. He loved it. And then, of course, he wanted some street cred along with the cash. And so he's got a bitch about the production about it. It's like de rigueur. I'm sorry, I don't know what you were talking about. I just got upset.
I don't know where you stand with the Pixies. He
Fine.
produced Surfer Rosa. I got it. You're fine with the Pixies?
Is Holiday Song on that? That's probably my favorite Pixie song.
I think that's on. Is that on Doolittle?
It's not on Doolittle. I love Doolittle, which I happened upon at a record store. I've told that story on here when I was approached by a young gentleman in a McDonald's uniform singing to me as a 17-year-old boy. I loved Bossa Nova, the album that came after it. After that, it was their cover of the Jesus and Mary Chains Head On, which was fantastic. And the rest I don't really give a shit about.
Where Is My Mind is on here. You don't like that song?
It's okay.
Popular
Oh,
song.
wait, I don't love it. Someone else in the world does. So I'm wrong.
This is a great sounding record. PJ Harvey, Rid of
Mm,
Me.
I
He was
love
involved with
PJ
that
Harvey.
album. No opinion.
No.
But so
I love
everybody's
her.
every-
I think if I'm being honest about Steve Albini, and I'm sorry he's dead. I don't have anything. But if I'm being honest, the number of songs he produced that I like is probably equal to the number of articles about the shitty music industry that I liked. As a matter of fact, there's probably more articles he wrote that I like than music he produced, though.
I couldn't find two. I think he was involved with one Robbie Fulks record I really like a lot. Gone Away Backward. It was a great record. I have it. It got lost in the move. I go on these searches for CDs now, and they turn into hour-long adventures in various places where CDs are accumulating, and I couldn't find it. So did I lose it? I don't know what happened to it.
You can find a bunch of CDs back at 100 Metro in Brooklyn where I fucking left them when I left New York 12 years ago or whatever it was.
But check out Gone Away Backwards, Robbie Fulks. I thought he was involved with an album that came out after that, Untold Stories, I believe it's called. That's a really good Robbie Fulks album. Check him out.
But
But
his discography is a mile long.
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he's worked with the greats. So and he died doing what he loves, right? He was at the studio when he had a heart attack.
I don't like that. I
don't like that? Why?
I don't like that whole saying.
No?
No. Why would I want to die doing what I love?
Well, you're engaged.
Doing what I love. I would have died doing something I'm about to that I hate. That's when I would have dropped dead. Greg, go clean the gutters. Why would I want to drop dead?
All right. Well,
like making out with a beautiful woman at the Pizza Hut buffet.
He was still, he was doing what he loved. That's the way I see it. Yeah, I know it's a cliche, but I mean, we both live alone. Chances are, we'll croak by ourselves, and then, there'll be several days of decay before somebody realizes.
I don't know if that happened to him.
Well, no, it didn't. That's what I'm saying. He was doing what he loves. He was in the studio. So, he was still engaged with life. He was still doing it. And yeah, it's sad. He's a little younger than me. So that's always gets your attention. It's like, all right, well, yeah. There goes
I have a lot of respect for his policy about not taking royalties.
Yeah, I read that in an article. I mean, I don't know how producers are paid. I mean, I thought they got like a flat fee for the job. I didn't know that they could get royalties.
Well, I think it's case by case. If you want to, if you're a powerful enough producer, you stick your name on it. I mean, he could have made a gazillion dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect it. I wouldn't have had the integrity to fucking do it. I would have stuck I'll take a point of this, a point of that. So I respect him a lot. It's just a shame that I can't stand most of the music he produced. But hey, today's not the day for me to shit on him.
No. And it is weird. I mean, everybody has their way of responding to somebody's death. But with social media, it gets to be a little over the top, don't you say? I mean, it's like everybody's
course.
got to signal that they're somehow connected to the person,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
it's
But
hey,
that's
it is what
normal. I
it
mean,
is. It's I don't quite get it. It's you know, I mean, I've talked about the night John Lennon died.
mhm.
I was in college, so I was young. And yes, it was sad, but I wasn't reduced to tears and, like some people. Um,
Like
but
some people.
no, like a lot of people. No, everybody's different, right? Everybody has their own way of grieving. But
Mhm.
the social media adds a weird thing to the mix. And
Yeah,
everybody
but
was
I
reposting. I had
yeah.
responded. I guess it was one of his more famous posts. He posted on Twitter, "I will always be the kind of punk that shits on
It's
Steely
on
Dan."
Steely Dan.
Yeah. Right. And all right. Yeah. Again, he's got a right not to like that music. A lot of people,
Wait. But what if you found 3 or 4 people who like Steely Dan? Can we definitively say that Steve Albini was wrong?
I think the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, I think Steely Dan may have had more hits than Steve Albini
Steve
had in his career,
Albini, yeah,
right?
definitely.
So, yeah, I don't think Steely Dan is worried about their numbers dropping. But here's the thing,
I love it anytime anybody casually says the numbers, like we're in the industry. That
well,
I love saying the numbers, and anytime I get to say any version of let's open up the books. I love saying that too.
yeah, and we won't delve into some of his early stuff. The bands he was involved. There was a lot of shocking content, and he's apologized that for a lot of that, which I give him credit for that. But that was a route some bands took, to be shocking, to get
But he's also
attention.
super young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
He's-
that's what he talked about. He was
yeah.
young. He realizes in retrospect that I think one of his bands was called Rape Man, or it's just like
I
what.
mean, how many New York punk bands were just had Nazi shit all over the
Well,
place?
yeah, I was
It
going to
seemed
mention that. Yeah,
normal,
yeah, right.
you know.
Punk, yeah, yeah. We're talking about punk credentials. Shouldn't your punk credentials be automatically thrown out the window when you have swastikas in some of your clothing? Uh, but as I recall, the bands that were hated weren't so much Steely Dan. They were kind of like, you know, esoteric back in the punk days. The bands that
Mhm.
were really hated were Pink Floyd
Yep.
and Led Zeppelin,
Yep.
who guess what? Steve Albini
Yep. I read
wasn't
about
too
that somehow. Popped up.
wasn't too punk to work with a couple guys from Led Zeppelin. So I
Yeah.
mean, the whole
I'm sure that paycheck was a little bigger than the Pixies was back in the day.
yeah, the whole punk credentials thing has always seemed silly to me. Um, so it was
Especially
really
since the first especially since the first Ramones record came out on a major label with all
yeah,
the trappings.
hmm
So I don't even know where that whole thing came from. But
yeah,
the most one of the did you read Azarod's book, The Our Band Could Be Your Life?
yeah,
You
yeah.
did.
Great book. Yeah.
The I mean that was the first I'd really even read anything about Steve Albini or given a shit.
hmm
The most interesting thing that jumped out at me was, and I don't know if I had this right, but matter of fact, he dropped in that at some point he was engaged to or married to a girl of the Big Ten that was in Playboy magazine.
Really? Wow.
And I
Okay.
was like, whoa, can we hear more about that? To the point where I
Yeah.
don't know if I invented that in my head, like,
hmm I don't
uh,
remember that detail, but
yeah, but like I kind of get the whole, like you're right about the social media thing. It
mhm.
feels silly. You feel people need to attach themselves, but then it's like on the other hand, it's like I remember when I first started Xmas Time. See, now I'm going to make this all about me, just like social media.
Yeah, that's the way we do it.
Somebody was like, how come every time you post something, you like bring it back to you? Like if
hmm
it's something in the news, you connect it with you or whatever. And I'm like, Well, nobody comes. I'm not the fucking news.
Mhm.
Nobody comes to unless to see something through a prism of myself.
Mhm.
So when people want to reach out and say, "Oh, I love this guy," I'm sorry, they're dead. They feel like it has to be through a prism of themselves. I met him. I had a connection. When Dave Davies dies, God forbid, you don't think I'm gonna retweet the fucking 3 times he retweeted me?
No, I'm not
So
against
it's
I'm not against doing it in principle. It just seems
yeah,
like
it's an
it
ickiness to it, but it's like
yeah.
you almost can't help it. Of
Look,
course, when Bruce dies, I'm gonna post a picture of me and him. Don't you dare ask me about that, Mike. That's my personal private story.
yeah.
So it's silly and it feels weird, but like
Mhm.
otherwise, what would you say? You're not reporting the news,
Mhm.
you know. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, I think I've done a couple. I try to keep it to a minimum. You know,
mhm,
it's like, frankly, you know, I like a lot of different artists and so on, but I don't know them personally. So it's
mhm.
like, yeah, I like their music.
What is the hardest celebrity death that hit you? I'm not gonna suggest you crying because Mike
Honestly,
Lisk has ice water in his tear ducts.
well, you're talking you're talking about Future. I guess maybe Bob Dylan, but he's sort of an aloof
No,
guy.
that's already happened. Like what hit you like, oh my God, and he did what was the worst?
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think. Nothing is really coming to mind. What does that
You
say about me?
cold motherfucker.
Am I yeah, I'm just
You
a cold
cold
I'm a
motherfucker, Mike
cold
Lisk.
well, I've never said otherwise. I'm a cold fish.
Yeah, yeah,
I get
you're
that from
right.
my paternal grandmother. She was a cold fish, and I think I got the cold fish gene,
Oh
which is
no, not
unfortunate
the
for
cold
me.
fish gene.
I got the cold fish
You
gene.
got the cold fish, bro. Come on now. Huh.
But
Nobody? No, nothing. Nobody. Never. What
yeah,
about if I drop dead? Are, are you going to tweet with a picture of me? Or are you just going to report Greg Wilson dead? Or are you going to say here's a picture of me and Greg?
no,
Nobody's going to find.
I'll play your greatest hot takes. I'll try and put together
Speaking of
a.
which, and we'll come back to dead celebrities.
Mhm.
Uh, I I'm gonna not be humble here. I had totally forgotten about my armpit butter genius until you brought it up on the show last week. I don't think I've gotten enough credit for that.
Uh-huh.
I'm ready to accept the credit for the pizza app that hopefully is going to make us tons of money.
Uh-huh.
But let's hold on to that butter armpit thing.
No, I'm still thinking about that armpit butter, and I thought, in a pinch, I could think of a warmer spot to warm up butter.
See, if I said
No,
that, I'd be in trouble.
I mean, you'd have to have drawers on, but
Birds sit on their eggs. We can't sit on butter. I'm sorry.
yeah,
We're too good to do what nature figured out
right.
long ago.
That's the way I was thinking about it.
All right, have you come up with a celebrity, or are we just gonna have to
No,
say
I really
old
don't
school?
react to celebrity deaths in
But
an
when
emotional
okay,
way.
then
I mean,
but
it's
when
sad. It's
but
I mean, I
what about when Bruce
remember
or Dylan do die then? Is that gonna be different?
when who?
When Bruce or Dylan die? Because they are but because like Steve Albini, they're younger than you.
They're not younger than me, just for the record.
Uh, I didn't know we needed to point that out, but okay.
but
You'll
no,
get a little choked up in the
I'm
bathtub.
attached to the work more than the person. So it's they still feel far removed,
Yeah.
you know? They move in circles that I'll never move in, It's they've had very interesting and charmed lives compared to my daily groveling,
So
It's
far, so far, Mike.
uh-huh. But you know who I've been thinking about?
Greg
I
Wilson?
don't know if you saw the article. Some poor guy died in a car accident. I think this is in Connecticut,
Mm-hmm.
and the car left the roadway. They think his body was ejected from the car. Um, but then he was a bear was on his body when the police got to the accident. So they think he died in the accident. I don't know if you can say that's a consolation before being mauled by a bear, but I mean, there are just the horrible ways of dying are just endless. And that one caught my eye. I was like, wow, okay.
The double, like either he might have gotten killed two different ways. That's what freaks you out? Or do you hate bears?
Well, dying in a car accident is horrible enough. And then possibly, yeah, being mauled from a bear, your body being mauled by a bear afterwards. Yeah. I mean, you think about people lost at sea, eventually they probably get eaten by sharks and so on, but at least it's underwater.
Well, let me ask you this. If you could choose how people heard about your death, like let's say you made it to 85 or whatever, would you rather the story be that you died in a car crash or that, yeah, you got eaten by a bear?
No, I think I'm on the record of saying that, you know,
On the record. Oh.
I repeat
Excuse me.
myself. Maybe you've noticed this. I've reached the age where I repeat myself all the time. So
That's all I do is repeat
every
myself.
once in a while, I feel like I have to apologize for doing that. But I think I have been on the record saying that I'd rather die in a colossal calamity like an earthquake or hurricane. Um, I just read The War of the Worlds. That would be some way to die. Uh,
Yeah.
Martian attack.
Yeah, see, I've always assumed I would never die in one of these group events like 9/11 or Pearl Harbor.
Hmm.
I would die on 9/12. Like
Hmm.
I would never die. I don't want to say it'd be cooler,
Hmm.
but like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not sitting here saying I'm not worthy of dying as part of a bigger group or event,
Hmm.
but like I wouldn't have died at Antietam,
Right.
Gettysburg. I would have died like on the way there or afterwards or something.
No, I
I'd
just want to.
rather,
I just want to die with my clothes on.
we all want that, Mike.
I want to die with my clothes on. A little dignity. I mean, I may have mentioned this before. I knew someone whose father passed away while he was urinating.
Hmm.
He was still in a standing position, and that
Still
is,
standing.
yeah, still standing. Like he sort of tilted, and
Wow.
his head hit the wall or something, so that he was still in the standing position. He didn't even fall down.
It's impressive. That's that generation. Stand strong and tall.
And I think I've mentioned this story because it's so horrific. They
But
they they
you know who
they
died
stand
without
out.
dignity?
What's that?
You know who died without dignity on the toilet?
Well, Elvis, yeah.
Elvis. What are you better
Yeah,
than Elvis?
that almost kind of balanced out, right? That guy lived such a unbelievable life that probably no one is ever going to live a life like that, right? We can honestly say that
Yeah,
that level of popularity, celebrity,
yeah. I don't
it's
know if the brief only witnessed by one person indignity of the toilet balances out the incredible shit he did, but
hmm
no pun intended. But
yeah.
I mean,
No,
nowadays we would see it on. Imagine today if you came upon Elvis dead, how much would that photo be? Because immediately you'd pull out your phone, snap, snap.
see, that's where I'm different than you. I don't want to pull out a phone when somebody's dying or dead. Yeah, I'm in a weird minority now. Because you're right. That would be
Thank you, Mike.
that would be a viral sensation, and that's the way people think.
Mhm.
They got to get it on their phone. But again, can we give some dignity to people after they passed away?
No.
Uh,
Why?
those days are gone.
I know dignity while I was alive. Why am I going to have it when I'm dead? When
Well,
when they
yeah.
put on my nice Sunday suit, put me in that nice box or
Mhm.
whatever, that's going to be the most dignified I will have ever been, probably. They'll brush my hair, put on a little makeup. My beard will
You
look
want that
fantastic,
makeup? I mean, I've seen some bad makeup jobs.
I'm sure.
You want the makeup?
Do you see this skin? Of course I want makeup.
The only
It'll probably be easily
the
the
only
best
time
suit
the
of
only
my life.
time you want to wear makeup is when you're in the box.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me a little, it'll probably be the greatest suit I'll have ever had worn in my life.
Well, I was just gonna say, do you have a suit that still fits you? I hate to bring up these sort of details. I mean, I haven't bought
I
a
wore a
suit.
suit a couple weeks ago. So
Did you? It's yeah. You bought one recently?
what are you trying to say, Mike?
No, I'm gonna bring it around to me, where I
I
haven't
bought
bought
it
I haven't bought a suit in a
a
long
year ago.
time.
I
So
bought it a year and a half ago.
I
year
kept
ago.
thinking, yeah, I kept thinking, hey, I've got that suit, for all occasions, right? There it is. But then the last time I tried to put it on, boy, those pants were pretty snug. And
Yeah.
I'm
No,
I'm not walking out with
I said this to somebody else. We are at that age where we do always have to keep a black suit at the ready
mhm.
for funerals.
That's why I brought it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing personal.
But I don't care what I look like after, yeah, me in that box, that's going to be the most dignified I'll have looked ever in life. So I'm not worried about it.
And the box is
Chop me up
open.
naked. I don't care.
You want
Let
you
a
want
bear eat me.
you want the box open. You're okay with that? I always thought that was weird.
It's weird. Burn me. I'm going to be cremated.
Okay.
Burn me. I don't care.
You want to get a
As obsessed with I am about my 4-day funeral service / ceremony / crying session, as far as the afterlife or how I'm treated in death, I don't care.
right.
But after that 4-day extravaganza,
You've left the planet, and it's
all
just
I ask is you
your
pull
former
off.
vessel,
Yeah.
for your
All I ask
spirit.
you
Your
pull
spirit
off
is gone.
dead Greggy Palooza. As long as you pull off those 4 days, what do I care? Pick me,
Palooza.
dead Greggy Palooza.
Are you going to get? I just
write that
I
down.
just
That
saw
might
this
make-
thing.
That might make the post copy tomorrow. Dead Greggy Palooza.
Yeah, that's a good one.
After that, I don't care. Chop me up, put me in a trash can. Who gives a shit?
They have things now, right? The whole point of getting cremated was, yeah, I guess people could keep your ashes in an urn, on the mantle.
Who's taking my ashes? Like, who
or-
would take your ashes? Who would you
or-
give your ashes to?
Well, that's the thing. They've got a new option now. Have you heard of the cremation crevice? No, what is it
Sexy,
called?
Mike. You're too sexy today, buddy. Between the butter, where the sun don't shine, and now the crevice.
Cremation.
Too sexy, Mike. Woo.
I think it's like a little post, instead of being like I guess it's like instead of like a full blown grave, it's just like a post, and I guess your ashes are deposited in that.
Mhm.
So it's like a little post.
I mean, I also just can't believe, especially in the Northeast region, there's a square inch of earth left to bury people.
That's true.
That always blows me away. But yeah, I assume I'll be cremated, and I don't know who, nobody's taking my ashes.
But then you see those stories about, these irresponsible graveyards where they were just shipping the bodies out without people knowing, and so.
Is that a Steve Albini band that we should have, the Irresponsible Graveyards?
Irresponsible Graveyards.
That should have been our band, the Irresponsible Graveyard.
But yeah. Anyway,
the other great band name I popped in my head the other night was Ralph Malfeasance.
Yeah. Okay.
Ralph Malf.
That's a good one.
Malfeasance. Ralph Malfeasance.
Yeah, I get it.
You write that down?
Yeah, I'm writing it down. I'm going to my notes, or I'm going to flip the page and see what else we can talk about. This is maybe our grimmest.
I think that's the first time in 2 years, whatever, you've taken a note on anything I've said. Well, let me ask you this, and then we'll finish up the funeral talk. So, over the course of the last couple of weeks, I've been to a funeral, and a First Communion.
Mm-hmm.
And it occurred to me, is there some comfort in that? Like one goes as one's coming in. It's not birth and death, but it's, it's kind of,
It's a cycle of life. Yeah.
I was in a church for two different reasons.
There you go.
Is that comfort? Should that be comforting to everybody? Second question, is it of comfort to people like us who don't have kids? So who gives a shit about the cycle of life? Is that a comfort to you?
No, it is. It's just, yeah. I mean, it's, people are at different stages of their lives. And I mean, I think as you mature, you've been through all of it. So, I mean, it's not so pleasant where there are young people at the funeral. I remember, my grandfather's funeral was the first funeral or wake.
Me
The
too.
wake, the wake was the weirdest, right? I mean, the wake is just like
That
weird,
is weird.
So I was very upset at that. I would just remember just like, what, why is everybody just chatting away? And here's the body over here,
Oh, just like Rodney after Granddad's funeral.
Did,
Oh, you don't watch that because Uncle Albert's. Okay.
what I'm trying to remember that episode. Was that in the first two seasons?
It was when Granddad died. Spoiler
Right.
alert.
Okay.
And after the funeral, Del Boy's, they got the reception. He's all bubbly. He's doing the Del Boy bizzo. Everybody's having a good time, and Rodney's upset. He's like,
Okay.
"How can you laugh and have a good time
Right.
at a time like this?" And
Okay.
and then Del Boy gives maybe the greatest minute-long monologue of any sitcom ever. I won't spoil it. I mean,
No, I did see that episode, and I just don't remember that detail.
oh, you hate you hate Uncle Albert. So.
Well, that's when the show went downhill, obviously, but I guess I was the only one who saw that because it just kept building and building, right? I mean, it never waned after Granddad.
No,
No.
it got bigger and bigger. Well, once I get my BBC lovers group together.
Don't they have a cruise? I mean, you should go on a cruise for. They
BBC
must.
cruise?
They must have a BBC cruise. Yeah. Well,
which one are we talking about?
Which?
Because I'm a part of
British Broadcasting.
Ah, gotcha.
Company.
Yeah, less exciting cruise, but still a cruise. That's funny.
I did see because I don't know if you're still an amateur nudist. There is a
professional baby.
There is
just because I don't get any money doesn't mean I don't ask for it.
There is some sort of nudist cruise. I saw an article.
That doesn't surprise me. Actually, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised it took this long, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Like when Cracker Barrel announced they were serving fried chicken. What the fuck took so long, Cracker Barrel? What? That's bizarre.
Uh-huh. I sent out, speaking of chicken, I found a segue. I can't believe I found a segue out of that.
After Dead Greggy Palooza?
Say it again. Dead Greggy Palooza?
Dead Greggy Palooza.
Okay, all right. I'm writing that down now. No, I posted out. I guess somebody else must have listened to Egg Foo What when we were reviewing chicken nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And right. They ranked the chicken nuggets. You disagreed, saying that it wasn't fair to include chicken restaurants, but I guess you already forgot that we included chicken.
I didn't forget. I called our own bullshit.
You were calling us out too? Okay. Yeah.
Like I didn't think of it at the time, but when you see it like that, you're like, you know what? Is it fair? I mean, Chick-fil-A has been dedicated to chicken. Same with KFC. They should have a better fucking. Number one, KFC does not have a better chicken McNugget. So that makes them look even worse.
I've never had their chicken nuggets. Yeah. I never had theirs. Yeah.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A, those are incredible nuggets, but yeah, why wouldn't they be? They'd better be.
I didn't agree. In fact, I would have reversed their last.
I can't remember what our findings were.
I remember that my number one, I believe, was Popeyes. And my criticism of Chick-fil-A was that they were tiny.
They are small, yeah.
I was like, so I was disappointed in Chick-fil-A after the buildup.
But that's another one, like Popeyes. nobody gets the tenders or the nuggets at Popeyes.
Yeah, well, for our
Were you talking about the strips or?
well, it was for our rankings. They have nuggets, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, people, I think they in the article they complain that the Popeyes nuggets have too much coating, but I didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with the coating? The coating, I I had an idea years ago that they should just sell the coating, nuggets of coating.
But, well, Long John Silver's finally started doing that, remember?
Really, they did that? Okay,
But because everybody would always ask for the crispy bits that fell down. So they finally started just selling them.
crispy bits of fish.
Yeah, fish and chicken.
Yeah.
The fried and all the crispy bits would fall down. And
Uh-huh.
people would always go, "Oh, can I have some of those crispy bits?" And then they
Uh-huh.
finally said, "Why don't we just start selling them?" So,
Oh, okay.
are you writing that down too? All of a sudden, you're writing down. It's only the second time ever, and spent both in the last 5 minutes.
No,
But my point is, I'm not. I mean, we did the same thing with
Yeah.
you just every restaurant you think of, but I would say there should be two categories: the best chicken McNugget or chicken McNuggets, chicken nuggets from a chicken centric restaurant.
Mhm.
You know what? Speaking of which, there's a Raising Cane's opened up around here. I should check out the little California memory for me and you. There should be the division where it's chicken centric restaurants like KFC, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, and then the other ones, Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's,
Uh-huh.
whatever. That to me is a more a real test. Or
Yeah, well, we went back and forth. I don't quite see the advantage because uh do we know that McDonald's nuggets are even chicken? I mean,
yeah, and again, who cares? Let's just assume they're not chicken. Let's assume none of these are chicken.
uh-huh.
You will never lose money on that bet.
Uh-huh.
All that notwithstanding, I can say I would probably rank McDonald's 1, Wendy's 2. Burger King's are just total garbage.
Hmm.
I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at our rankings though.
Yeah, we didn't do Burger King's. That was too far a drive for me. So
Oh yeah,
I
because you don't want to put in the effort.
I didn't put in the effort.
It was past your driveway. I get it.
Yeah. But
I used to claim I liked Burger King more than McDonald's, but the older I get, the more I'm like, how's Burger King even still around? Other than them being mayonnaise based, more so than McDonald's, it's a mystery. So I don't know, but
I think I might
maybe,
as
maybe we'll
well.
go back and look at our chicken tender rankings or whatever.
Yeah,
Chicken.
this might be a good spot to also talk about.
Yeah,
there
I'll
was,
shut up.
there was another ranking of fast food restaurants,
Ooh.
and I think you may have had more experience with some of these than me.
Oh,
Here,
I'm gonna write it. Hold on.
The number one I've never been to, I've never seen. Culver's.
Culver's is that's big in the Midwest. I think they have those butter burgers.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're big in the Midwest. I've never had one. I'd love to try one.
Yeah.
They do look good, but yeah, I've never been.
Maybe one of our fans can send one to you. Is that possible? Just, if you could do that, put a comment.
I'm not giving these people my address. They already fucking hit me. I'm not.
Number two, you have experience. I still haven't experienced.
That's a weird way to put this. You have experience. How about you've had
Well,
these?
this is a food show. It's a food show. And
It's a weird way to put it.
I'm giving you credit for your experiences.
Okay.
Number two is Shake Shack.
I don't know if I've even had their chicken nuggets.
Oh no. We're back on just best fast food restaurants.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We switched off the nuggets.
Shake Shack, the best fast food burger, or the best burger, period. And I love their fries. And bonus, because they're crinkle cut, they travel delightfully via Uber Eats or whatever you do.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say enough about how great Shake Shack is. And their chicken sandwich is great too.
You could Uber Eats Shake Shack? I didn't even think you could do that.
Okay, I'm finally gonna fucking tell you. You can Uber Eats any fucking thing. Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
I just
Yeah, it's fantastic. Shake Shack's fantastic.
okay.
They're my
Number
number one.
number three, I have had In-N-Out Burger.
You've had experience with In-N-Out?
Yeah, in Vegas.
Who was this bruiser?
It was at
Thought we
a
could be sexy today. You were taking the lead with the sexy talk.
it was
Yeah, I've never had In-N-Out. Tell us
the
about the In-N-Out.
Opa bachelor party trip.
That's
Where were you that trip?
Ope's bachelor party?
Yeah,
No,
you
I
didn't
knew
make it.
better. I'm not going to fucking Las Vegas.
You would have died.
I'm
That would
an
have been
I'm
that
an
would have been the end of you.
irresponsible. I'm a dumb, irresponsible oaf bumbling about. But even I know I'm not getting out of Vegas, and not in a sexy again, not in a like I'm doing a mountain of blow with hookers and putting it all on red. It would just be something I would fall for some clown on the street doing a trick, and like I'd disappear. Like it wouldn't even be a good story. So when I say I stay away from Vegas, don't think it's because I'm such a badass. I'm doing cool
A
shit.
clown on the street. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, be like, hey, here's 2 eggs.
It.
How many
I
eggs
mean,
do I
isn't
have?
that what
Boom.
that's about? The Stephen King story.
No,
Anyway,
I don't know. It'd be like, hey, how many fingers am I holding up? And then
an
boom,
evil clown.
I'm under the street.
What a
buried.
burger! I've never had the experience. Number
Never had.
4. You know that one?
It's another one that I've always heard about. I've never gotten it.
Number 5, just yeah, you just mentioned Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's.
And you're getting one down in Virginia, huh?
There's one in Union Station. I wanted to pop in the other day. I was coming back from Richmond, but it was too early. They hadn't opened, so I would have tried them next chance I get.
I didn't even know they were on the East Coast.
Well, after I gave them such a nice review last year, they're like, you know what, fuck it. Oh, but how did you rate the In-N-Out burger?
In-N-Out was great. Yeah, it was really good. I mean, you know, I can't. Yeah, it was a really good burger. That's all I'll say.
Your number one?
Is my number one. I wish I had more experience with it. You know, it was just a one time, and it was very good. Yeah. So, you know, I can't just rank it for one experience. That seems a bit, you know.
Hey, you're all about integrity. I get it.
Number 6 is Five Guys.
Oh, yes.
Which I do have, and I have to. Yeah, I can't eat them regularly. It's like you have that experience, and you got to give it several months.
Yeah, they're a great burger.
Their
fries are kind of so what, like they give you a ton. Their thing is the peanuts.
Well, not anymore. My place doesn't have the peanuts anymore.
I don't know what took them 30 years, 40 years to figure out how much money they were losing out the kids because the peanut allergies. Now I haven't been in one in like a year. I'd say a year, probably 5. Oh no, that's not true. Yeah, I used to always laugh. I'm like, have they not heard about the peanut allergy?
Yeah, no, I think
the money they're losing.
I think they are done with the peanuts. My place doesn't have them anymore.
I love the last one I was at, which is probably a year ago. They did have the peanuts.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're smart, they would get rid of the peanuts. I love the peanuts, Five Guys, but if you want to make some money, get rid of the peanuts.
Number 7 is your place, Chick-fil-A.
My place.
Aren't you a big Chick-fil-A guy?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
I'm not anti-Chick-fil-A. I love their chicken sandwich is fantastic. Their chicken nuggets are fantastic. But other than that, you know, they saddle you with these fucking waffle fries. They're like, whatever. Plus, I resent them because if you, God forbid, you try to go to Chick-fil-A in the summer anywhere within 100 miles of kids, because they're always there.
Yeah.
Pack the gills. So
number 8.
Great sandwich stuff.
Number 8, I recently became aware of because there is one, you know, not real close, but they made a big to-do about its opening. So I might check it out. Dave's Hot Chicken. I've never heard of it.
I've heard of it. Who's Dave?
Yeah.
Who's Dave's Fried Chicken?
Yeah, I don't know, but it got quite a fanfare. There were articles in the paper about it. Dave's Hot Chicken is open in, I think it's in Ocean Township. I might take a drive over there.
Oh, good news for Ocean Township. Get your affairs in order, Ocean Township. A real Jersey man is coming.
Number 9 is Kelly's roast beef, which I've never heard of.
Where is this fucking list from?
I don't know. I just come across this stuff.
Oh,
And then number 10, which sort of discredits the entire premise, but you'll love. Number 10 is White Castle.
Yes. Yeah, to your point, though, I love White Castle. To your point, it immediately discredits this whole fucking list.
Yeah, so
I
that's
love
that.
White Castle, but it does immediately render this whole list invalid.
It's like White Castle, really? You couldn't find a decent Wendy's or Burger King? No.
Now I am a little curious where this fucking list came from, because
It was just an article I saw.
Hmm.
I see articles that have to do with food. I take a few notes, and that's that. Grist for the mill. Grist for the mill.
Wow, quite a lot of effort, Mike. Thank you once again for your service. While I get back to my
We got
viral
about
video
10 minutes out of it,
factory,
right?
while I get back to my viral video workshop. Sweatshop.
Speaking of your viral video assignments, did you see the video where somebody went to a Sonic?
I thought you were going to say, did you see the video that I fucking made? No, what's the Sonic one?
The Sonic one is somebody went to a Sonic and ordered a Dr. Pepper with pickles in it. That's how easy it is, Greg. You just have to do something, something ridiculous like that, and that will get attention. Some other guy, whether this guy may be just flat out lying, but he got an article online. He claims he's eaten pizza every day for 6 years.
Well, that I believe. I mean,
Yeah.
that he's probably not the only person who's done that. Yeah.
No, I remember, I think it was somebody in Bayonne got a couple Domino's pizzas every day. And I was like, what? You know, I would get sick of it after a while, right? But some
Yeah.
people, I guess, they don't get sick of things.
If you could not get sick of it, there's worse things. Like if you have 4 slices of cheese, like when I did my pizza only run for 30 days, which you've already forgotten about it because you're still pissed at me I didn't do a quote unquote real video.
You should have done it every day.
Like even that, it was better. It was healthier than what I would normally have been eating. So if you're gonna lock into it, and if you don't get sick of it, there's worse things to eat.
And,
like the butter after you've warmed it up your way.
That's what you're gonna call it, your way.
Your way butter.
Yeah.
None of my business butter. However you warm it up, whatever you do with it, none of our business.
There's more astounding news in food in the news coming out of China. The Chinese the Chinese Academy of Sciences.
Watch yourself.
Has performed a study. Hold on to your chair, Greg. Get ready. This is gonna. A study found.
So you say jump, I say how high. I literally held on to the chair.
No, I liked it. I'm, and this is why people have to watch the video. It's there's other stuff.
They don't have to watch the video.
They don't have to stare at our faces for an hour and a half. No, a study found that beer tastes better when it's served ice cold.
Ding, ding, ding. That's breaking news.
They did a study.
Also,
a study in China, of all places. I don't know that they have a big beer, culture, but yeah, they're breaking ground in that area.
Yeah. Just when you think the Chinese are ready to take over the world, they do something like that, and you're like, you know what? We may have a few years left.
The Chinese Academy of Sciences, that came out of the study. I'm sure it was funded. There was a lot of money. Who's the guy who does Bar Rescue? John, I always forget his name.
It's not my man Gordon.
No, it's his he's the bar realm Gordon. Anyway, the guy who does Bar Rescue, people will know. Tell me in the comments. I always forget his name. Begins
You're
with a
always
T.
bringing them up.
It begins with a T. It's you ever have that thing where you can't remember it's only certain people you can't remember their names. And I do it all the time with
Yeah.
certain individuals. He's
I'm
one
bad
of
with
them.
names. I'm bad with anybody's
He's
names.
that memorable to me. But I remember one of his things was that he was against the icy mug. He thought that the icy mug diluted your beer. But when you think about it, how much water is coming from the ice and ice mug? So this study actually, exposes that theory as fraudulent
Mhm.
because they said that the ice mug was part of it and contribute to the good taste.
When I think of an ice mug, my dad wasn't a big drinker at all, especially beer. Like once or twice a year on a Sunday after church, he'd get a 6-pack of like whatever, the
Mhm.
normal beer, Schlitz or whatever,
Uh,
whatever normal beer. And it would be a production. My brother and I be like down the hall waiting to get the whatever, a mug in the freezer, frosting. And if you got the call to pour the next beer, you get to have a little sip,
oh, nice. Yeah.
which of
Okay.
course is horrible, but when
Uh,
you're, oh my God. And so that's the first connection to the taste of beer I had, or whatever. So yeah, once a year, it was like the Queen Mom was in town, and we had to have a frosted mug for my dad and like the 3 beers he would drink.
I thought you were going to say that there was like a whole system in place,
That,
like maybe he had 6 mugs,
no, there were 2 mugs.
like a
He'd have the mug. He'd have one in the freezer waiting,
right.
and have the one he was using, and he'd give you
Oh, so there was a system, so you'd have to
yeah,
clean it and get it back in the
yeah.
freezer.
And my brother and I, we were like ball boys at Wimbledon, just crouched, waiting for the call to sprint. And if you got poured, you get a little taste, which was all foam. Now that I think about it, yeah. So that was a big production, yeah.
No, I remember it's funny you tell that story. I remember, yeah, the first taste of beer,
Yep.
and
Very distinct. Like I can still taste it.
it's like a Proustian moment.
Yes. Don't you dare, Mike. Don't you dare take my word.
That was that. This is my version of a Proustian moment. He had a cookie, and I had a Schaefer beer. That was a popular brand at the time when I was young, and it was you actually used a can opener. Beer came in the closed cans, and it didn't even have the pull tab, and you literally used a can opener. And I just remember getting that first sip of Schaefer beer, and yeah, it was like your experience. It was pretty unpleasant,
I think it was Miller
but
Lite.
it's
Now that I'm thinking
memorable.
about
It was memorable too.
I think it was Miller Lite bottle. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I think I remember seeing like the champagne and beers thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like even then, I thought that was funny.
My
Even as like an 8-year-old kid who didn't know what beer was, I thought that was stupid.
I remember my grandfather liked the Miller. He always had a Miller going. But
Yeah, but
yeah.
like that kind of beer, I feel like who cares if you throw ice in it? If you want to get drunk, you have to drink 100 of them anyway. And you're probably cutting grass at the same time.
I think that Miller High Life is making a little bit of a comeback. It's like I guess Pabst was the first budget beer to sort of become cool, right? The hipsters would
Oh,
all
I
drink it.
remember when that started moving into Williamsburg.
You were in ground zero for that.
Yes.
What was your impressions of what was happening?
Number one, I don't do impressions. No, of course I laughed my head off. Like it became suddenly overnight. The hipster deer leader chose Pabst, and like yeah. I used to be like, what's next? Like them creating a empty whiskey bottle and brown paper bag that they could pretend to drink out of for $140 or something. Yeah.
And I wonder about its origins. Because I guess there probably was a little convenience store that may have had that beer, or no, maybe a small liquor store that had like maybe a display of Pabst. There's always been Pabst drinkers,
but this felt like overnight, like all of a sudden.
Oh no, it definitely instead of
had a
just
hipster
being,
beer
you
80.
know, a niche beer for older guys who drank Pabst. One of my friend's father drank Pabst. He stayed loyal to it for years, you know. So yeah, there were probably some loyal holdouts, Pabst drinkers, but yeah, some hipster must have saw the display of the beer. A light went off, even though they could have afforded the finest beer, finest wine with their trust funds.
They probably dumped the real Pabst out and filled it up with like super fancy beer and just, you know, what did I
Yeah.
have the
But yeah, so the light went off, and yeah, next thing you know, I want to know like how the trucker. This could be a series for for you, you know, since you were sort of at ground zero in Williamsburg when this stuff was happening. The Pabst beer phenomenon. Maybe you can pitch it to the History Network.
I am waiting at some point. Isn't there going to be a definitive documentary about that period of time in Brooklyn? Like when you live through it, you roll your eyes at it. You
I
don't
think
care
there's a
about it.
book. No, no, there's a movie. I Met You in the Bathroom or
Oh,
something.
that was hard. Didn't we talk about that?
I don't know that
I
we
made it through
did.
like the first 20 minutes, and it's all the moldy peaches. Like, oh my, we practice in our bedroom, and then our first show we only had 500 people come, and I'm like, oh my fucking okay. Is that over and over? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I
first
watched
show we had
it.
it.
Yeah,
We
I
played.
watched it. Yeah, I don't remember much from it. It was just okay,
I
I
didn't make
thought.
it through 20. It's like we had a lawnmower and a speaking spell in our first show. We only had half a thousand people show up. How we, you know, over. But but so at the time when you're living it, you just kind of like this is whatever. But when you step back, it was a big moment in time in terms of culture and
Yeah.
art
Hmm.
and changing New York City itself.
Yeah.
So at some point, I feel like there is going to be. I mean, that was all about music and a couple of bands,
Right.
but not just music, but the whole neighborhood
Yeah.
as it changed over the years. I feel like, I mean, it's coming up on 20, 25 years, all that stuff started because I don't like to take all the credit, but I probably should at this point start taking credit for Williamsburg becoming what it was.
I think
I'm running out of time in this life to be too humble. I can't do it anymore.
I think you were definitely on the forefront of popularizing the styrofoam cup
I
full of
did my
beer
best.
at
God knows I did all I could, Mike.
at what's the park?
Karen.
McCarran. McCarran Park, yeah. The
I did all I
styrofoam
could
cup
to-
of beer.
I did all I could to popularize the 32 ounce, whatever the cup was made of, beer.
How much did that go for?
350.
Wow, can't beat
And
that.
and plus that was back in the olden days of a buyback. So
Right.
you'd buy
Three.
you'd buy two, you tip five, so it's $5 for each basically.
Okay.
It's 350, you tip 150, and every third one was free.
Yeah, nice.
Everybody's a pig in shit. Everybody's happy.
Uh-huh. Good old Turkey's Nest. We have to revisit at some point.
Turkey's Nest and 100 Metro. Speaking of Williamsburg, the Turkey's Nest and 100 Metropolitan are going to be the last two places standing. That I would see. I won't live to see that documentary.
No, you don't see a day. I mean, I keep see my thing about 100 Metro is that that looks like a classic case of a building collapse. No, you know, I don't want anybody to be hurt. I'm not wishing for anybody to be hurt.
Yeah, but if that thing hasn't been bought and turned into 50 condos yet, they fucking missed the mark. So at this point, the city is just being built around it. And the Turkish is just printing money. I'm sure they probably paid the building off back in the 50s.
But I can't believe nobody's been able to just buy it out flat
I tried
out.
to sell it.
Yeah,
back when I was in real estate, I reached out to the owner.
Yeah.
He lived in France, and he was like, how do I say this? I couldn't care less. I have no desire. He's basically, I'm so rich, I don't give a, you know.
When was the last time he came to the building? I mean, he's one of those.
We weren't best friends. I don't think he ever saw I don't think he knew or cared or saw.
He was in France. Wow. Okay.
Now that's literally 20 years ago.
That's an interesting detail.
But so that and the Turkey's Nest are going to be the last two buildings standing. And I want somebody, I assume it's already being put together, a definitive documentary film on Williamsburg from 1992, or Williamsburg from the moment that article came out in New York Magazine until I left. Right? Let's say
All right.
1992 to 2012.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody out there, let's put in the comments that they're filmmakers.
20 years.
Mike and I are happy to advise.
20 years of hipsterdom. The rise of hipsterdom.
I bet
the rise and fall. The rise and fall.
I don't know if it's falling.
Hipster Williamsburg.
I bet you somebody's making that movie right now.
Yeah, we'll never get the credit.
No, I'll give myself credit.
Well, Jerry Seinfeld is all over the place with his promotion of this Pop-Tart movie.
Even I'm worn out. I mean, even I'm worn out.
Yeah, I have no desire to watch this thing. I
want to watch it. I mean, I love Seinfeld. I know he's pissed me off recently with his nonsensical bullshit. He made it all the way to the 1 yard line in his life without really getting busted for saying his tone deaf shit. But I want to see this movie. I'm waiting to watch it with Waddy because he loves Seinfeld too. Waddy, I don't know if you remember, he's the one who our friend Will says is the most handsome man in the world.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Waddy.
I mean, I love Seinfeld. I love the idea of this movie. Look of it, the feel of it, the time period, all this. But I have a feeling it's probably not great. But then again, who cares? It's like, it looks like it's an hour and a half of just goofy fun. So I'm cool with that too. So
I saw you you noted that I guess the History Network has already been on this with.
Yeah,
they've been doing history of popular foods, supermarket foods.
They did one specifically about Post versus Kellogg's.
Yeah.
In the Ringer, these fucking geniuses put out a big article today. Oh, about is this the new Marvel Universe brand wars? And they do a whole thing. Of Coke versus Pepsi. I'm like, yeah, they've already done this. Hulu already has this genre.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Wasn't there a McDonald's movie?
Yes.
With Mike. Was that any good? Did you see that?
The movie? That's Michael Keaton, yeah.
Yeah, was it any good?
That was really good. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's Michael Keaton at McDonald's.
I think
but in terms of this whole war, like Coke, Pepsi, Pizza Hut, Domino's.
Right.
KFC, Popeyes. Hulu's been doing it for 10 years. And the Ringer's like, wow, who Jerry Seinfeld came up with this. Wow. What's the next one gonna be? I'm like, well, go to your fucking Hulu and find what the last 30
movies don't know what the hell they're doing. It's well, I guess we're gonna get doll movies after Barbie was such a hit. So we'll get a whole series of sequels on Barbie, and then somebody will probably revive G.I. Joe, maybe bring that back.
Here's something that pisses me off though. And I've seen all of a ton of the Seinfeld. If he pops up, I'm watching it. But, and I'm gonna give away something here, but fuck it, because Netflix did it. One of the great surprises to someone like me would have been in the middle of the movie, all of a sudden, Don Draper and Roger Sterling pop up. Have you seen this?
In the Pop-Tart movie?
Yeah. So obviously,
I haven't watched it yet.
Right. Neither have I.
Oh, okay. This is hypothesis.
So right before it came out, Netflix drops the whole fucking scene on Twitter. So it's like, well, great. Now I don't even have this to look forward to.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They
had a scene with that. Oh, okay.
Of course.
See, I didn't even see that.
Of course, they're going to be pitched to by, Madman.
So
they ruined that.
Yeah. And I guess only Jerry Seinfeld can arrange these deals. He could just get anybody, right?
Of course. Well, that's another thing that pisses me off. He wants to do this I'm a badass thing. He didn't tell Kellogg's about it, and fuck it. They're not going to assume. Like, well, that's probably bullshit. He probably cleared it. Number two, the second this is out, they're going to be begging you to fucking sell it, so. But I'm saying all this. I want to enjoy the movie. I think I'm going to enjoy it. It is what it is. It looks like it's big and dumb and silly, which is what I'm all for, so.
I'll try and see it before next week's show. We can talk about it.
Thanks, man.
I did see, and you know, I don't know how I got through it. The Jerry Seinfeld appearance on Club Random.
Yes.
So you saw that ass kissing contest.
Yeah, I listened to it. Yeah, again, if Seinfeld pops up, I'm listening.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think it was any better or worse than anything else. I don't know. Seemed
But
fine.
but you can always tell when, you know, Bill Maher is trying to impress somebody, you know. So he broke out this folder.
Oh, I thought that was nice. His like
Eh,
memories, he keeps like clippings or memories and folders for each year.
Yeah, but after a certain point, doesn't it become a little weird? I mean, do you have clippings from your little league games or
No, I don't. I have a guy that does that for me. I have a little team.
you know, the couple times your name got in the paper? Uh, I know you were a big football star. Do you have all the clippings from
All right, these people don't want to hear that.
from from your football glory days?
Mike, this isn't about that.
No? Okay.
Basketball more, but you know, whatever.
Okay.
This isn't about that, Mike.
I remember seeing a photo of you in your football your
If you
pads.
bring up me having the game-winning RBI in the district championship game my senior year, I swear to God, I'm gonna shut
Okay.
this. I'm gonna
All
shut this
right.
fucking episode down.
Again, a mystery that here's a guy, star athlete, would not you know, did not play in our softball league. Why? I'll never understand that one.
Somebody, okay, let me explain this to you again.
That's a mystery for the ages, as far as I'm concerned.
Somebody had to lead you people every goddamn Sunday.
Had to lead.
Somebody had to drag you, motherfuckers, one Sunday to the next. You think these 12 wins a year just happened? Think kittens just showed up in a box? Oh, you won 12 games?
We could have used some help, and you know.
No, the best thing I did was stay off that. The best thing I did for you people is stay off that field.
Back
What we're
to
talking about.
back to Club Random.
Seinfeld and Bill Maher. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I mean, they mentioned a book we've already discussed. I'm wondering if somebody brought it to Jerry Seinfeld brought up the Marcus Aurelius book, Meditations. I was like, oh, okay. Somebody must have watched.
I bought it because of him.
Somebody must.
This is another thing. When you see these press blitzes from guys.
Wait a second. You bought it because of him, not because of me?
Yes. No?
Didn't I build a case that it was a good book? You didn't trust my judgment? You waited for Jerry Seinfeld to weigh in?
I mean, Mike, I don't want to throw in your face.
You just did.
You haven't read To Kill a Mockingbird.
You threw it in my face.
I can't take your word for it.
Okay.
So you're on Seinfeld's level. So you're just beneath Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay. You could have read it by now and understood what he was talking about.
Now we have something to look forward to.
That's true. But anyway, Bill Maher is to me, he seems like he embarrassed himself. He embarrasses himself on that Club Random. He's pouring drinks for himself. I've never seen somebody measuring his own drinks. And it's not like he's mixing different things. He's pouring out, I don't know what he's drinking, maybe scotch or something. And he pours
tequila.
it in.
He always likes tequila.
He measures it. Like he doesn't trust himself to just pour a shot.
Yeah.
What's he afraid he's going to get drunk? I mean, he gets drunk on 2 drinks anyway. So
well, he weighs 11 pounds. Well, it is weird. It is weird when the other person isn't drinking.
Yeah.
Or getting high or anything. That's a little weird.
Well, that's it. You know, I mean, like I found
Seinfeld's not going to fucking drink. Or
no, yes, and Seinfeld was knocking him left and right with stuff, which I appreciated that. You know, you don't see too many people knocking Bill Maher on his own show, but he got in some good shots, I thought, you know. And Bill Maher was even like, at one point, he's like, I don't know how to take that. And Jerry's just like moving on, you know. He sort of was hitting him with zingers. And Bill Maher is just like trying to move on, you know.
Jerry did make a point. He did steal from me when they were talking about music. and Jerry said, and Bill Maher was like, it's not like all songs are about sex. And Jerry said, yes, they are.
Mhm.
Now, who legendarily has been saying that its whole Express Time career? Me. I always wanted to have a game show with kids. Oh, what's this song about? You're dancing on a ceiling. Oh, I'm with all my friends. We're dancing. The ceiling. We're like the ceiling. It's a great time. Oh no, this song's about fucking.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, I think the first person who
Whoa, whoa,
reviewed,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
think
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa,
first
whoa, whoa, whoa,
person,
whoa. You no.
the first person who reviewed Little Richard may have said the same thing.
Right.
Okay.
I listened to this
Uh.
interview 3 days ago, whenever it came out, and I literally can't remember anything other than they talked about the World's Fair.
Yeah, yeah, he went heavy. Bill Maher, yeah. Why Bill Maher? Yeah, he's got these
Well, they have
momentum.
been friends forever.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
So,
not knocking
but you're right.
their.
But it's tough. It's like you're right. He probably was ass kissy, but I mean, Seinfeld is so even to his friends, it seems like he's a little above them at all times.
Yeah,
The way they talk about him, not just Bill Maher.
yeah. Well,
So,
whenever Bill Maher has a guest who was clearly superior to him, or a really famous musician, that's when he's going into his sort of idol worship. And it's kind of embarrassing, at that late stage of life. It's like
Mhm.
you're still wish you had the rock and roll life. That's really
Well, I was going to
when it's
say
embarrassing.
he is of that classic age, being born when he was born, where he still does have that worship of like classic rock musicians. He does have that kind of built in him.
But every once in a while, it keeps referring to this classic playlist. He's made a playlist, and I guess that's the only way he listens to music. He's got all the music on his playlist. I think he was trying to get John Fogerty or somebody to listen to this playlist of his, and it was
Oh
just
yeah.
it was just like embarrassing. It's like, wow, it's like, you don't think John Fogerty has ever listened to other music?
Yeah.
that he needs tips from Bill Maher.
Hey,
And,
that's a great one there, Bill.
and the thing is, I remember Bill Maher mentioned some band I never heard of before. I can't remember it now, but I did go to Spotify. I made a point to like check this band out. I think it was some band, one of those generic 70s bands.
Yeah, he's Mr. Generic 70s.
And it was just like, what?
Jackson Brown. He's gonna want to tell you about
This
Jackson
is like
Brown.
when you're talking about music, this is the first thing that comes to your mind. This crappy band from the 70s.
Yeah. For a guy that like tries to portray himself as some sort of punk rebel or whatever, his music tastes are incredibly K-Tel, Kmart, here's the 70s, whatever it is.
I don't think he considers himself a punk rebel.
No, but he's edgy.
He's more of the Playboy generation.
Yeah,
I
but
think
he
he'd like
wants
to see him as a Hugh Hefner
yeah,
rock
he definitely wants to
dude.
be UF.
Yeah, that's the fantasy he's always been living. And it's weird that fantasy is still kicking around in his head as he approaches 70.
Well, the problem with that is he can probably do it. He's got a little.
Well,
Playboy.
I'm sure
he can have good looking women strolling around.
Oh no, I think he was a frequent visitor at the Playboy Mansion. He had his fun times, I guess, but and I guess he misses it. He can't accept he's almost ready to kick the bucket. But
if I can pull you out of this Bill Maher shame spiral, I've seen so much Seinfeld over the last week.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're more privy to these interviews that after a couple you realize they literally say the same 4 fucking things every time.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
one of them was this fucking book. So after like 100 times of him talking about it, I was like, you know what? I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, you didn't remember that I talked about it, that I recommended it. None of that.
When was this? Mike.
Episode 47.
I didn't remember.
I don't remember what episode.
Ago, I didn't remember that 3 weeks ago I invented the armpit butter warmer. All right, we've been through a lot, bruv. We reinvented the pizza game.
Yeah. No backers. I haven't heard any news on that. I mean,
well, all it would take is an iPhone. You park the iPhone sitting there on your pizzas and just let it live.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is difficult.
But nobody's going to give up their iPhone for a whole day. Are you kidding me?
You buy one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
A pizza shop should be able to invest in, let's say, $1,000.
They can
Or
get
an
a real camera. They don't have to use a phone.
Now, the real question is, would they want this? In other words, I think I'm doing them a favor by not going in and then turning around and not getting a slice. Maybe they're thinking we get people, we kind of surprise people. If we show everything, that's fewer people coming in that we can surprise. Maybe they like the fact that they can kind of hook us while we're there.
What if we get proactive about this? Bless you.
What's that?
What if we get proactive? What if before next week's show, each of us
I don't like the
goes
sound of that.
each of us goes to a pizza restaurant? Do you have a favorite pizza place?
In DC? No.
I mean, I have a favorite place. I can go there, and sometimes you get a slice. You got a little time.
Well, I'll be honest.
Maybe I'll broach the subject with somebody.
There's no places around here that have the slices.
Really?
No.
Oh my God, you're living in a pizza wasteland.
Mike, I got news for you. Compared to where you live and I used to live, it's all a pizza wasteland. I'm not a pizza snob, but it is unique to New York City, the fact that every 3 feet you do have the classic counter. Here's a bunch of slices. I'm sure they exist every other places, but not like that. Yeah, they would have to. This would be a very New York centric product.
Well, speaking of slices,
you are good. Damn. And the winner of this year's Segway of the Year award.
I did have a salad, but the problem with me getting salads at pizza places is that I'm thinking down the line. I'm not just thinking about that salad. I don't go in and get the salad and walk out.
Yeah.
And I went to my favorite place, my favorite pizza place. It's convenient. I am trying some of their salads.
You walked into a pizza place and came out with a salad?
They have a full menu.
That is like going to the Playboy Mansion and like coming out with a Sears Roebuck catalog.
Well, this is my point, that I didn't come out with just a salad. Oh. I scan the slices, and they have a pretty good array, and they had some really good looking sausage slices.
Straight up sausage?
Straight up sausage, yeah. I mean, it was literally covered, very generous. I'll save them for a future. But I did have the house salad with chicken, which is about as basic as you can get. It had your iceberg lettuce, black olives, one single green olive with a pit.
Well, you love the olives.
I do love olives. I'm on a kick.
Don't be brag. All right, easy does it. You don't have to braggy.
Now, there's a Stop and Shop near me where they have like a little counter thing where you can they've got salads, and they've got olive salads and with provolone, and it's really nice. So yeah, I think I'm going to be eating those all summer. But anyway, they're raw.
Can you say the word Stop and Shop without thinking of Roadrunner? Right?
Roadrunner?
Roadrunner. It has Stop and Shop.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah,
that's what I think of anytime I hear that.
Good catch.
Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it had the olives, it had cucumbers, it had cherry tomatoes. It was a good standard salad, and the grilled chicken.
Perfect. Yeah.
If given a choice, would you go crispy chicken or grilled chicken? I had the choice.
Probably grilled.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. If you're going to eat a salad, you pretend to be healthy with the grilled, but I feel like the odds of the crispy chicken, the odds of that being fucked up are a little greater, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but the grilled chicken was a little dry. I have to say, it was not the best.
How was that iceberg lettuce?
It was crispy.
Crispy, delightful.
No spinach in there whatsoever.
Thank you.
Did you have? What did you have for lunch today?
Well, today I just had the normal sandwich I brought in, but this weekend I was surprised when I got down to Richmond. And if you remember a year or two ago, friend of the program, my sister-in-law, my goddaughter's little brother, Jack, not Jackie Watts, superstar. He was in a little video where he tried Egg Foo Young for the first time, if you
Yeah,
remember.
I remember.
I mean, I'm supposed to remember a fleeting reference to Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I don't know why.
I might as well be talking to a wall.
I don't know why I wouldn't expect you to remember a video of a cute kid trying air.
Oh, I
base-
remember it. I
A
remember.
cute kid trying the basis of our whole podcast.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, you posted it several times on different
and he's a
platforms.
big fan. He loves the Egg Foo Young. He's got a shirt, Egg Foo What's shirt.
Oh,
Loved
okay,
it.
cool.
So I came into town and lo and behold, the night before they'd gotten Chinese food,
There you
and
go.
guess what he got?
There you go. Wow.
Egg Foo Young. So I had the leftover. I mean, I don't know if he got through one patty, but so I had Egg Foo Young this weekend. So I was very delighted by.
Oh,
So,
yeah, nice.
fantastic. I got the fever now. I want another one.
And you turned him into a lifelong Egg Foo Young fan. That's pretty
likes it.
amazing.
Likes
Yeah.
it. He loves talking about it. He's got the stuff. Speaking of the shirt,
Well,
we have to remind each other to post about the fucking merch or whatever. I never remember it, but that's a
well, I mean, I am putting the link in the last few videos since it's been up. Yeah, it's in our description. People looking for it.
Other than that, I've had nothing interesting to eat though. So
no, okay.
eating tuna fish sandwiches and fruit.
No disappointing meal of the week. I got through this week without a disappointing meal.
Yeah. No, I've been happy because I've been delighted by my return to fruit, my triumphant return to fruit, because over the pandemic, when I was living with my brother's family, we were right next to a farm stand. I just got used to having this ridiculously great fruit. I ate more fruit during the pandemic than I did my life combined.
Okay. All right.
And a couple weeks ago, I was like, man, and then it just stopped. I don't know why. So I'm trying to, with being at Wegmans, I'm trying to get back into eating as much fruit as possible, and I've been very successful this week. I'm pretty happy. Other than the wheelbarrow of Egg Foo Young I'm going to eat tonight. Now that I'm thinking about it. But.
So you're going to have the summer of fruit, and I'm going to have the summer of olives.
Aren't we going to be a ton of fun?
But here's something I ask you, because I follow a lot of Instagram accounts, a lot of Jersey food accounts.
And my brain, Mike. Go ahead.
I saw a video that caught my eye. Would you eat a sub on a pickle? On a pickle?
On a pickle?
Yeah. I don't know where they get this enormous pickles, but they must have access to giant pickles, and they literally just make the sub on the pickle.
No, I can't eat that much pickle. Sorry.
I mean, I'm a pickle fan, but yeah, I'm weighing this and like, that is a giant pickle.
It seems impossible.
It seems impossible. But I'm thinking maybe this is the thing that gets us our viral video. I have to do a little traveling.
Where are you going to find a pickle that? Oh, you're going to go to it. Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to go to this. I've never heard of it before. It's Elsie's Sub Shop in Red Bank. I know somebody who works in Jack's, is a famous record store there. So I've invited him to join me. I asked him if he's ever had it, and he's lived in Red Bank for years, and he says he doesn't know one person that's ever had it before. Not exactly a ringing endorsement.
So it's been around a while. It's not just
this is an older Elsie's Sub Shop. Yeah, it's been around.
So it's legit.
It's a sandwich shop.
How big is this pickle?
Well, that I will find out. It looked big in this video I saw. A young woman who does these food videos in New Jersey. I can't think of her name. Why give her a plug? She's doing better than me.
Yeah, fuck it. You don't need that shit.
I mean, we're putting out this stuff. We think it's good, right? Other people think it's good. And then you just see these people driving around New Jersey eating in their cars, and they've got 12,000 followers. I'm like, what are we doing wrong? What are we
Nothing.
doing wrong?
Nothing.
So I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna work up the courage over the weekend
All right.
to go to Elsie's sub shop.
You know who might like it, who I am going to have to ask about it, is my nephew, aka Mike List's greatest #1 fan. He does love pickles.
Yeah.
He's the pickle king. So I'll ask him about it.
Well, I consider myself a pickle fan, so
I like pickles. I don't know if I love them that much. Like one pickle. Have you ever eaten 2 pickles? I don't know if anybody's ever eaten 2 pickles.
Well, I like the spears. You know, they're pre-chopped.
Yeah.
The Vlasic, is it Vlasic?
Yeah.
They
And like I'm talking about a sour pickle. I'm not talking about a butter or sweet, any of that bullshit. I'm talking about a straight up real pickle, by the way.
I don't like the butter. I don't like that. It's too
anything
sweet.
other than
It's
the
like
normal
sweet,
sour.
Yeah, no, the sour is the only kind I like. Yeah, I'm not,
and I'll tell you what I love is drinking pickle juice. As a kid, I loved it.
Yeah. Well, you know about the whole pickleback.
I know. Speaking of hipsters,
nonsense.
I mean, I love pickle juice.
Yeah, no, I do too. But it's like,
do we call you that from now on? Hey, pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
What up, pickle juice?
That's an insult, you know.
No.
And whenever somebody wanted a pickleback,
I love pickle juice.
It's Jameson. It's Jameson whiskey with pickle juice, and yeah, it makes it smoother. But why are you ordering whiskey if you want a smooth pickle drink? You know, it seems like sort of, you know, I called it whiskey with training wheels. You know, you're not ready for whiskey, so I'm going to put some pickle juice in this.
Yeah, that's all right. I just don't know. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody reach for a whole pickle, eat it, and then reach for another one.
You mean the kind out of the barrel? You're talking about that big giant
or
pickle.
The jar. You pull out of the jar. It's a pickle.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody's ever eaten one and then reached for another.
Yeah, I mean,
comments if you have.
Well, like I said, I get the spear, so yeah, I'm getting a couple spears.
Well,
yeah.
Not all of us lived in the Golden Palace. The spears. Mine are pre-cut.
So I do reach for a second spear.
Right, but that's not a whole pickle. I mean, a whole pickle.
Yeah.
That's four spears would equal 1 pickle.
Well, I think you've just invented a whole pickle challenge for yourself.
Thank you, Mike. Can I reach for that second pickle?
I'm sure Wegmans has some pretty good pickles down there. Mike, they probably got the barrels.
Boy, you know what? I've never.
Yeah, I bet they do.
I knew every inch of that place.
They must have some good pickles tucked away.
I don't know if they had the barrels. Back to hipster Williamsburg. Pops. Before they got fancy, they had the huge barrel of pickles and barrels of olives.
Yeah,
barrels
of olives. Wow.
Yeah, I would just walk by that bullshit. Fuck that. But you're right. I'm gonna sniff out the pickle sitch at Wegmans tonight.
You know, that sounds like a good tongue twister.
I thought you were gonna say that's a good Wednesday night.
I'm gonna sniff out the Wegmans, the pickle sitch. It's tough to say. It's tough to say.
Boy, I'm just tickling you today.
Yeah. No,
3 times you've paused.
I'm tickled every week. I would have pulled the plug on this thing a long time ago.
Thanks for that thinly. Thank you for that thinly veiled threat. Message received. Loud and clear. I'll do better.
Now this story, but I'm surprised I didn't see you commenting on it. I mean, I'm sure you saw it. The Adrian from Brooklyn story.
What's that?
What? I found a Paul McCartney story that you're unaware of.
Oh, wait, are you taking credit for that?
I'm not taking credit, but you just said you didn't know what I was talking about.
I didn't connect the dots until yeah, of course I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice story, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do we know if she's alive?
No, I read there was an article about her family.
Okay.
Her children
are rigged. What did they set this up before Paul?
No.
Okay.
They knew for years. I mean, she always talked about it. You know, that's from she went to see them at
Right. What I'm
At
saying is,
Sullivan Theater.
what I'm saying is, did they check to make sure she was alive before he came out on Twitter and did,
Well,
you know,
obviously not. Obviously not.
why do you
Because
say
yeah,
out?
because she's been dead since like 1992.
She is dead.
Yeah, she's dead.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay.
Well, wouldn't that be a bigger story then? Like, wouldn't he feel terrible?
Well, you know, it is what it is.
Like, tell us the story. I'm sorry.
They never came forward, right? They never came forward. They didn't want the attention, which is like, holy cow. You know, how many
Wait a
years
minute.
they sat on this for years? But I guess, you know, the clip wasn't so, you know, readily available for.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about, you know, he came out
Yeah,
on a
tell the
video and said,
story.
"Hey,
Tell the
Adrian, I
story.
love you too."
Okay, yeah, tell the
They didn't
story.
know she had been dead for 30 years?
No, tell the story, or should I?
I mean, it's a simple, yeah,
Okay.
you tell it. Yeah. I'm gonna
So
break.
yeah, Paul McCartney has an
I'm actually
exhibit.
gonna get this blind while you're talking.
Okay. Paul McCartney has a photo exhibit. Do you know the museum? I'm not sure. I think it's in Brooklyn, right? So he's having his photo exhibit, and he did a little clip where he showed from 1960s these young girls at the Ed Sullivan Theater before the show. A young woman, Adrian from Brooklyn, just sort of goes on record saying that she's in love with Paul McCartney. And
as every girl that night probably did.
right. Yeah. Well, some, you know, George had fans, and
it's a story. It's a clip.
John.
Like, I've seen the clip.
Yeah.
You see it every time one of these things goes around, the clips.
Yeah. So Paul McCartney shows the clip, and then he says, "Adrian, if you're still out there, I'm coming to Brooklyn," which is a nice little. Yeah. I wonder if he knew about that clip, one of his assistants or whatever. But they put it together. Yeah, I don't believe they knew she had died, because the family had never come forward before about it. And then, so there are surviving children of hers, grown children, and they responded to it, and they were quite pleased with it. You know, it was a nice little memory for them. But yeah, their mother had passed away like in the early 90s, like 92. So it's been quite a while.
But are you surprised he didn't clear all that before he did this video?
No,
Weird,
I
right?
think it was probably just like they put it together real fast, you know.
And like, how was that not a bigger story? Trying to make Paul McCartney look bad, like he stepped his, you know.
No. Here's the thing: they couldn't do the research because the family never came forward before, so he had no idea whether she was alive or dead.
Oh, they didn't know she was dead until the kids.
Right after the clip came forward. Yeah. Okay. So after the fact, yeah. I mean, is he going to do a tribute to her?
So then, how did he react? Like,
I don't know what. I don't think he's done a reaction video to the news that she had passed. You know, I don't think he had to. You know, I'm sure not.
I think he would, right? Like, it'd be weird if he didn't. Like, he does this beautiful thing,
yeah,
and then it's like, oh, she's dead, and he's just gonna go, oh, what are you gonna do about that? Doesn't.
Well, he went in blind. He didn't know anything about her history, clearly, and
it was a super cool thing. I mean, who doesn't love it?
No, it was great. People should look for it. It's a nice, cute little clip. But the family did come forward finally after all these years, and you know, it was a nice memory for them, because and then they talked about their mother and how she was a big Beatles fan, and apparently, you know, they even sort of ratted her out, saying that I think her father had passed away young, and she was watched by her grandmother, and that like she kind of ran wild for a while. She was running wild because I mean, this was her children, her grown children, saying this, that so that's how she ended up, you know, outside that theater, you know, because nobody knew where she was, you know. But I thought
I would have thought, as you know, careful and professional he is, that he would have, like, wink wink, covered all the bases. But all right, you know.
Yeah, her name was
the John Lennon guitar found story.
I didn't see that one.
So, you know, like early in the year, after Paul McCartney's one of his Hartford basses had disappeared in like 1969. and they found it a couple months ago, and it's a
All
huge
right.
deal. Now they're
Yeah.
trying to make a big deal out of of a 12-string acoustic that had been lost from Lennon's collection.
All right.
And it turns
All right.
out it's the guitar he plays in Help during
Okay.
You Gotta Hide Your Love Away.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
are they trying to make this the same level as finding Paul McCartney's fucking Hofner bass after
Yeah.
54 years? Pretty
Well,
weird.
there's lots of competition going on still,
I'll see.
apparently.
It'll
But
be
that's
interesting
where,
to see how Paul reacts to this story with
yeah, I don't know that he has to react. It's maybe
Mm.
who will, maybe he won't. I don't think it's, he didn't know clearly, so that's not on him. He didn't know.
Are you gonna be surprised? I mean, he's a bit of not a PR genius, but why would he not get this
Well,
family?
yeah,
Fly them to
he
his
might get another
show,
viral clip out of it. Yeah,
fly them to the show. He has a great
he's got
moment.
that
He's really
that
great at
advantage.
that shit anyway, and he
Yeah,
probably means it,
yeah.
So
Has he got any live shows coming up? Maybe he'll do a song, and they could put that clip out there. To me, to
me,
you, what song should he dedicate to her?
well, it would have to be from the Ed Sullivan Show. Probably All My Loving. Right?
Oh, My Lovin'. There you go.
That's the most straight up 100% Paul one that they did that
Okay,
night.
classic. Yeah. No. So next time, is he still touring, or is he done touring, or maybe he'll
He's
dedicate
not
it.
touring right now. I'm sure.
Uh,
I'm sure he's still touring. Yeah,
He's not done.
that'll be an announcement.
So anyway, yeah, I did not watch the Tom Brady roast.
Oh, Mike,
Every day there's an article about this roast to end all roasts.
Mike,
It's 3 hours long. It's 3
I
hours
know.
long.
Do yourself
I
a favor.
I peeped it.
Take a shower, take a long bath, put on a robe, get the temperature down to about 68, curl up. This was not just the best roast in 20 years. This was, along with the John Mulaney thing, which I would have mentioned, this was just an incredible television event. And I missed it live. I didn't even see it live. I watched it the next day. This was, you have to watch it.
Okay.
For a couple of reasons. Number one, it's the first roast in 100 years where it's not what had become the standard 8 comedians who have never met the person. They come in and do the roast.
Wasn't Comedy Central trying to revive it for a while?
Whoever's done it the last 20 years, it's like, and I love Jeff Ross, but it's like, here's boom, boom, boom. You suck. Oh, hey, I've never actually met you. You're one of my idols. I love you. Nobody. This was a fucking 3 hours of they went Giselle, the Flagegate, Giselle's fucking this guy.
All right. If it's got lots of, well, I mean, I'm a Giants fan.
Let me tell you something.
I know
Mike Lisk
fan. Well, you're a Dallas fan, so you must have loved it.
I know Mike Lisk is no bullshit. There is no bullshit.
Really?
Everybody was funny.
Really?
Except Ben Affleck. I'll get to him in a second. Everybody was funny. Even I'd read all day about Kim Kardashian getting booed. And like everybody else, I'm kind of like, why is she there? She got up. She was fine.
Yeah. No, every day there's some new article. I mean, who's ever promoting this thing? I mean, they're doing their work. Every day there's a new angle, Yeah. Kim Kardashian was offended. Giselle was offended. Robert Kraft was offended by the massage parlor jokes.
Fuck him. That wasn't. Yeah, I know they want to say Brady got upset. That wasn't the worst.
Oh right, yeah. Brady got up, unscripted, whispered in the guy's ear,
and then he realized, oh shit, this is gonna get worse. It was great. It was a great roast in terms of the actual jokes. But again, for the first time, there's dudes who actually knew and cared about each other, ripping each other.
Really?
It also felt like a weirdly needed, even if you don't give a shit, therapy session for these motherfuckers. Somehow you got Belichick and Brady together. Belichick was not only funny when he did his bit.
All right, wait a second.
Yes.
Did you just repeat what you just said?
I'm gonna top that. He was funny during his joke, his roast.
I find that hard to believe.
Even more hard to believe when he got Kevin Hart kind of dragged them together to do a shot. He looked like he was kind of enjoying himself. I'm telling you.
Well, now, all that other stuff you said, Yeah.
And,
Now you sold it for me. You know,
and then here's the best part.
Bill Belichick is funny.
He was
Wow.
funny.
All
Here's the
right.
best part. So this is 3 hours. So at the 2-minute 55 mark, here comes Ben Affleck. And I like Ben Affleck. I don't have people. It's easy to shit on him. For some reason, he puts himself in these weird
It
things.
looks like he got a new jawline or something. He looks
And he
weird now.
comes in just blazing away about social media, about internet
Yeah.
trolls attacking him
Yeah.
like Brady. He's like, yeah, I know what it's like. And it became 5 minutes of him. And I'm like, it's not like he went first and then realized, oh shit, he had 3 hours while being surrounded by
Watching what was going on.
countless comedians. Anybody with a brain would have said, oh shit, let me come up with another 3 minutes of jokes and then get out. He was unhinged. He did this totally different thing. And I don't understand because, again, he had 3 hours to realize it.
Yeah.
And correct it. So I don't know, but that was the only, everything else was great.
Yeah,
Kevin
that was
Hart,
the first
Trevor
article to
Post.
come out. They said he was unhinged, that he flopped. He was a classic flop. And but
It's just bizarre.
I did enjoy the fact that he's still whining about David Tyree catching that football off his helmet. So
Drew Bledsoe was funny.
yeah, wow.
I call him handsome Anthony Michael Hall. He's like a beefy Anthony Michael Hall.
All
It was fantastic. It's
right.
3. I
All
want
right.
more.
I've
And the
got
fact that it was live, again, I didn't catch it live. I wish I had. It just, how many great television moments. That's
well,
not saying
yeah.
to
You've
watch.
sold me, so now I've got lots of homework. I've got that 3 hour epic
Yeah.
and the Jerry
I know Mike List doesn't like the bullshit, and this was no bullshit.
Jerry Seinfeld show. So yeah, I got lots of homework for next
But
week.
what about the Mulaney thing? You've been watching that?
No, I should watch that too.
Well, I love it because, again, it's just nobody would watch it and say it's great. There's a lot of like awkwardness and nobody really knows what's happening.
Yeah.
But I'm at the stage where I'm just so happy they're trying something. And it is live all week, just like old TV back in the 50s. So I'm loving it. I'm rooting for it. I want more of it. It's just live. Anything can happen.
Oh,
It
it
just
was
kind of
live.
weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's live every
I'll
night.
check it out. Yeah, they're doing like a series, right? What's it called?
It started
Netflix.
last Friday, and then every
Netflix
night this
something.
week at 10 o'clock, it's live.
Okay.
And it's just so, it's ambitious and it's,
All right.
it wants to be unique, but with a template, it's just really,
What
I'm so
percentage
excited.
of the John Mulaney show was self-help?
That's a good question. That doesn't come up as much as you'd think. So.
Okay. Now, well, he did a whole show pretty much on it. So,
Yeah.
did he get it out of his system, or
I hope so.
are we gonna get self-help every performance? You know,
Well,
I
that's a
don't
good
have
question.
anything against self-help.
We
If
talked
anybody,
about
don't get crazy, people.
we
I
talked
want
about
people to have better lives.
yeah.
I was at my local establishment. They had to take out a waitress. She was on drugs basically and couldn't function. It's sad, So I want people to have
Of
good
course.
life, But
we talked about it
I don't
after
need
the
it in
special.
comedy all the time now.
Right.
It seems to be a part of the comedy template now.
And then it's okay if it's once, okay. But then is the next special going to be his reaction to our reaction to his? That's what I'm not looking forward to.
Right.
This whole thing where every stand-up special now is the comic's reaction to everybody else's reaction. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's so fantastic. Week of TV with these live events. I'm so happy. So
yeah, and
Seinfeld
I'm not saying that there isn't room for comedy in these whatever situations people are in, that they have to get help or whatever, but it does seem to be a trend, and maybe we can get back to the laughs again. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
like
just
I said,
me.
it's okay once, like when Patton Oswalt came out with his special after, of course we all wanted to be there with him and make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
But then the next one, you better be fucking funny. So
yeah,
that's all.
and and Egg Foo What says that, you got to get serious.
Speaking of great band names like Irresponsible Graveyards,
Was I talking?
Twice over the last couple of weeks,
Uh-huh.
this phrase has come up, and I'm so happy. High Waters. Remember that?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was classic when we were kids.
Oh God.
Or just plain floods.
Oh,
High waters and floods.
when I was in high school, if you got caught with high waters
Oh,
or
yeah.
lice, that one day of the year they checked you out. If you got busted for high waters or lice,
Yeah.
you were moving towns.
Yeah. No.
Bye.
And the thing, I don't know what your experience was, but the kids who did get caught with lice, I mean, you could tell that, things weren't good at home. They were just kids. They were just
keep this part light, Mike. Jesus Christ.
No, but I'm just
Well,
saying.
that's the thing. And when I was a kid, they check you every year. Nobody got busted with lice, and I feel like if they had that, they would have moved. But I was so tickled to hear high waters come up twice. I love it. Oh,
in the roast, somebody said high waters.
So instantly shame-inducing. Yeah, somebody had high waters, and either I said
it's stylish now. That's a stylish look. I see it all the time.
Sure,
I mentally think, oh, look at this guy with the floods. But
Hey,
I think that's the look
flood?
now.
So
I mean, I saw some of these guys at the Met Gala, and I think a couple of those guys had floods.
Oh, I love it. So I was so happy. I hadn't thought of that in 100 years. High waters.
Oh no,
So
that's
before we record our album, we're gonna have to decide between high waters and Irresponsible Graveyards.
no
Let us
floods
know in the
and
comments.
floods and high waters. Those are classic.
Or Death Greggy Palooza.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening. We've had a good time.
You don't speak for me, Mike.
We seem to be on a hot streak. Did this meet your?
I don't feel like this. I feel like the last couple were pretty funny. I don't know about this.
This didn't meet your standards.
I don't feel like this one.
Even though
the last three, I left buzzing. I was like, oh, this one, I don't know. But we were due for an end.
Are we going to start doing post-show recaps?
Yeah, or in-show recaps.
In-show recaps.
Current happening show recaps. But yeah, like Mike says, everybody, do the comments. Let us know. I'm gonna try to remember. Excuse me, to do the merch link.
No, I put that in. I put that in. It's in the description, people. And hit that bell. Hit the subscribe button. We're only 200 people away from get our merch prominently featured.
Where are all these bots I keep hearing about? Why can't they show up?
Yeah, why can't send the bots? I'm actually making comments. Here's what I'm trying to be proactive, Greg. I don't know if you do this. I told you I follow all these audiophile YouTubers, all these vinyl community YouTubers. And then I'll of course I hit up the comment section with some, some sharp zingers here and there, trying to draw attention. Like, oh, this guy's pretty funny. Maybe I'll check out.
That's what you're doing for the show? Really?
What do you do?
I'm almost burning down my building trying to make grilled cheese sandwiches to videotape for you.
Oh, the grilled cheese. I'm never going to hear the end of this grilled cheese video.
How great was that video? I mean, that was.
Why'd you make a big thing about where you cut it in half? It doesn't matter. You're eating the whole thing, right?
I wonder if anybody sat through the entire 2 minutes of the slow-mo version I did. Did you do? Come on.
No, I didn't know there was a slow-mo version, I have to admit.
God damn it.
You didn't know I read Meditations. So
nobody cares about that. All right, you know what?
You didn't care until Jerry Seinfeld. Whatever Jerry Seinfeld reads, apparently, straight to Amazon.
Why? What did he say? Jerry said something?
He
Jerry say something about me?
He was praising Marcus Aurelius.
You didn't like the grilled cheese? That was an amazing fucking.
It was fine. It was good. Yeah.
Fine?
Yeah. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah. We all remember when John Lennon brought in A Day in the Life and Paul said, it's fine. I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I do this. Death Greggy Palooza can't come soon enough.
Wasn't Day in the Life one of those rare he had half? John Lennon had half?
No,
I thought Paul McCartney had that little joint.
he had the middle eight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not half. Like
Oh,
that
well,
was their
okay.
classic. One would bring in the
Oh,
song.
excuse me. I didn't get
The
the
other-
right percentage of the song.
Well, do you want to learn something or not? That's all.
Go
I'm just
ahead.
asking, do you want to actually
Go ahead.
learn?
Go ahead. Make your point.
No, you can talk or you can learn. That's all. It's
Make
up to you.
Make
a
your
free
point.
country.
All right.
No, that's one of the classics where one brought in the song and then it was like, oh, we need a part here in the middle. A middle eight. And the other one did it like you know, there are a couple of those. So it worked out perfectly like that.
Yeah.
So just like us. Sometimes you bring it, I help with the middle eight. Sometimes I do like all ton of videos and you comment shit on them. That's equal, you know. That's cool.
All right. We'll leave it there.
Do we already say our fucking goodbyes?
Thanks for listening. I think we're almost at another 2 hours.
Are we ever going to hit the 2-hour mark?
We hit it. We hit it already.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, right. Like it was 2 hours and some seconds.
Last week?
No, a few weeks ago.
But didn't we get dinged because some of it was somebody's resting time?
No.
I had to go to the office.
I had to go to the office. I had to drop the kids off at the pool.
Oh,
Boing.
now you ruined it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Take care.
Thanks for listening, everybody.